welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about what it means to be autistic, as it's World Autism Awareness Week this week across the world and in the UK. And this title of this video is going to be, what does autism mean to me? What do I like or dislike about being on the spectrum, and my identity, where I stand on the spectrum. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. And like I just introduced the video, I'm going to be talking to you about what autism means to me and what I like and dislike about being on the spectrum. As somebody being diagnosed on the spectrum, every day is different for me. I see my autism as a gift. It gives me a different way of processing the world. It gives me a different viewpoint on how I see everyday situations compared to the neurotypical population. And some situations can be challenging for me, so I can get really overstimulated and really anxious quite a lot with dealing with being on the spectrum. Also, I see it as a journey. I'm constantly learning about myself. I'm constantly learning new ways of how to cope and putting new strategies into place to look after myself. And I think this shapes my identity quite nicely, because it gives me a way of looking after myself, and at the same time knowing that I'm proud to be an autistic woman, knowing that I can actually tell people that I am autistic without being worried about it. So also, autism is a way, it gives me many different opportunities in life. It gives me a way of self-explaining myself. It gives me a way of educating and challenging people's perceptions about me, because a lot of people don't see what I do outside of YouTube. I do a lot in my local hometown community. I train police officers, I train medics, I train healthcare, mental health professionals. I give talks about my own life experiences about being on the spectrum. So a lot of people just see these videos and don't see what I do outside. But being on the autism spectrum is hard. It's a challenging thing. Every day is a different situation, a different time. And a lot of people don't see that. They expect me to be this happy-go-lucky person, whereas Gemma isn't sad. Gemma doesn't get stressed, where actually I do. But I'm very good at covering that side of me up. I don't show necessarily that I'm stressed or anxious or upset on the videos. I try and cover that up and leave that out of the videos. I also recently got the opportunity to talk to some university students and my local BBC radio media as well. As somebody on the spectrum, to have that opportunity and to have such a big respected UK media base to tell my story was an absolutely incredible experience. And also, I'm also quite creative when it comes to being on the autistic spectrum. I do a lot of my own poetry, so again, that was another way of getting my foot in that door. That was another way of sharing my content out, because I am a poet. I write a lot of my deep emotional poetry, and it's quite, some of them are quite dark, some of them are not so dark, and that gives me a different way of letting my emotions out in a safe and stable way. So rather than always telling people on the phone how I am, I write down my feelings and I file them in a folder. So it gives me another idea of how to act and being on the spectrum. So yeah, every day is different. It can be difficult. Being on the spectrum is not all rainbows and roses. Trust me, it really isn't. Autism to me is a challenge. It's a lifelong learning journey of where I need to be appropriate, where I need to say things, where I shouldn't say things necessarily. So autism is not an easy journey, believe me. Being autistic is hard. Yes, it is part of who I am. Being autistic is part of what I do every day. I have to live with it. I have to learn to adjust to coping strategies. I have to learn to being appropriate and social skills and the seem to be normal stereotype. And again, people will often throw that against me. They will often try and say, well, you don't appear to be autistic, Gemma, you know, that you don't behave like you're autistic, you don't have that, or you don't headbang, or you don't be offensive, and you guys don't see that side of my behaviour. You guys only see one side of Gemma. Like, some guys know me better than that, but there is certain things I don't show you off camera. Like, I don't show you when I'm having really bad meltdowns, because you don't need to see that. Having meltdowns is another side of me. Having meltdowns is when I'm so unable to talk and verbally so mentally frustrated and mentally tired that I can't but verbally communicate it. I will shut myself down, I will cry, I will rip bits of paper up, I will do things that at the time not good. Like, I will scream, I will shout, I will probably swear, say some curse words that I shouldn't be saying, but you know, I do that as a way of de-stressing, deregulating, because I've had such a lot of social input and sensory input during a day that I get so built up, and then my brain just goes bang, wallop, everything comes out to play. So again, autism can be bad that way. Also, you guys don't see the anxiety meltdowns I have. Yes, I've had anxiety meltdowns on live streams, and I've shown you a brief anxiety meltdown, but you guys don't see it when I feel ill to the point where I'm being sick, where I've got headaches, where I'm crying, where I'm screaming in pain because I can't cope with being on the spectrum. So again, that can be the bad side of being on the spectrum, but that's just part of who I am. That's part of Gemma. That's not the whole of me. That's not, oh, poor autistic Gemma. No, that's not what I'm doing this video for. It's to make you aware of what I go through every day. And people keep saying to me, well, you're a female. Are you sure you're really autistic? Yes, I have a diagnosis paper, but not that I should have to prove that. But anyway, that's another topic. Again, I have to mask a lot of my symptoms. I have to act accordingly in society. I have to do as I'm told and do it when I'm told to do it and not question it, because society expects me to conform and be a conformist, which I'm not. I'm not a conformist in any shape or size. I don't like being a conformist. I think it's absolute disrespectful. Yeah, so please give this video a like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye guys.